All right. Let's go with the next day of the trial with Dad. Dad at the trial. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Defense is ready. This guy's still being a bitch. Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. All right. Sir, this guy's got... I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. The prediction. A prediction? Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order, order! Mr. Von Karma, what's the meaning of your statement just now? Ah, you must question everything. I'll be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I call my witness now. Call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand. Alright. Oh boy. Witness, state your profession. I'm the proprietor of a restaurant, The Wet Noodle on Gourd Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you read the boat rent. He won't say his name. They won't let him say his name. They won't let him do it. They won't let him do it. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. Yeah? Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. I have predicted this trial to end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. It's not a... I'm not... Oh. My memory. Yeah, because he's got brain damage. Because he's got brain damage. Yes, but the incident question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we, witness? It was night of the 24th, just after midnight. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. And I heard a bang. Yep. I looked out of the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There's nothing to question my witness testimony. Stop it! This guy needs to just let... No! No! No, no, no! No! What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Let's take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Jeez, this guy needs to, like, chill his jets, dude. It's so obnoxious. Alright. Night of the 24th, just after midnight. Just after midnight, you say? Yep, just around then. Are you sure? Are you sure? When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. Surprised you seem so sure about today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remember it clearly, I did. You see? Continue. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats. Is there anyone else who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough for a court of law? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot? Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy. Keith! The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. I heard a bang. And where did that bang come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yep. Good. Continue. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat floating on the lake. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly. I did see a figure there was two men, but I figured there was two men. But you couldn't see them clearly. Yep, at the time there is. At the time? And I heard another bang. So you heard 2 gunshots in total? Yep. That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday. Just back then, the boat comes back to shore with the man and walks by my window. By your window? Yep, by my window. Right outside my window is my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. It's a rather important detail. Please, add it to your testimony. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad! Dad! Dead certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead, and he started walking by, too. Witness, are you sure the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him! That Edgeworth boy! This sounds like a decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. On karma. He lured me into cross-examining him so he could set me up for a fall. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. Better act quick, or this trial is gonna be over. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that there could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, what are you referring to the fingerprints on Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing the man firing with his left gun. Or with his left hand, his left gun. Dual wielding. I don't. He could have whipped his prints off when he fired. And you're ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in the witness's testimony is true. The judge is lost in his thought. What should I do? Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead. But his words are all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in the court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you've yet to realize even this is basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us. Ugh. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes were perhaps too high of an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide a case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear, and I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Huh? What? Larry? What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday, but today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. This court is in shambles. What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. Just one moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony, and I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anywho, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order, order. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. Trial is over.
Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this.
Only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse.
Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse.
You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right here, right now, right here, right now. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistakes have been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call a new witness to testify. Now. After that, we'll hear from this new witness. Court is adjourned. Whew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth. I've seen worse. Yeah, right. He literally watched his dad die. I think he's seen worse. Just wonder what Larry plans to say in there.
Larry was at the lake that night.
Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
What's that?
Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon?
Oh. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw a pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have reason, really.
I see.
Right. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance. Von Karma has only ever ran perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right?
That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth.
Hey, it was 15 minutes! 15! Court is now back in session. All right, let's go, Larry. Let's go. That night, I was out on the boat on the lake. I was looking for something and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back to the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. Looked out over the lake and I didn't see a boat. So after I heard a single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. At night, I was out on the boat on the lake. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? There's just so many things wrong, I don't know where to begin. Well, okay. First of all, what time was it? It was after 11 when I went out on the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night, so I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on the boat at such a late hour? I was looking for something, and I found it. Looking for something. Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it that you were looking for? Hi, Kari. How you doing? What our witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting out for the Scotty. Ugh, I can't do his voice. It's hurting my throat, so we're gonna chill it. I don't want to lose my voice because I'm doing this weird raspy, trying to do some weird raspy deep voice. So I quietly slipped into the boat back to the dock. Oh my god. Around what time was that? Well, let's see. I figure I was searching for about an hour. I guess it's around 12. Yeah. You're not sure. Hey, don't give me that face. That's not some sort of human sundial, okay? People use watches these days, Larry. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. Oops, I went to... What if Von Karma has a little kid voice? No. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out of the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Whoa, everyone just calm down, okay? I mean, it was a real foggy night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Okay, no problem. That's the most important part of this case. So after I heard a single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick? It's pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Alright, the night I was alright, let's look at all the evidence here. We've got camera set to the loudly sometime on the 26th or 25th, shot from approximately 1 meter away. There's the photo taken at 12:15 a.m. Shows an empty lake taken automatically at 12:24. Okay. Second lake photo shows an empty lake taken automatically at 11:50. Okay. Heard 2 gunshots just after midnight. That's probably the thing we should press about, is the 1 gunshot. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang. You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta testified yesterday she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. You gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts, what? You only heard 1 gunshot. Are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Huh? Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude! With my headphones. What? Order! Order! Stop that booing! Mr. Butts, you were listening to a radio on your headphones? Yeah, so what? Is that a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, what's your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Your Honor, please. Please allow for the witness to continue his testimony. I think it's more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts, please give your testimony and be sure to include the detail, like your radio. All right, leave it to me. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to all requests show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like, and I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. You're listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to the radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I can't believe Larry has no idea what the problem is here. Judge, can you believe a word this witness actually says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it's difficult to believe his testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? The announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what that means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Okay. Oops, okay. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. So you turned on the radio. Right. I just wanted to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like to be out there alone on Christmas Eve. Alone. I shouldn't have said anything. That's why I was listening to all request radio show on the radio, see? Did you by any chance remember the name of the program you were listening to? This has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. Objections sustained. The witness was listening to the radio. That is all we need to know. Tell us, Mr. Butts, how loud was your radio set to that night? I was listening to it real booming loud, like. Real booming loud? Yeah, you know. And you had headphones on. Yep. I wouldn't think you could hear anything going on the outside at all. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. Nah, I can't prove that. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me, you know? I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good would knowing the... Because the time! The time! We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Well, how do you know if we don't ask? Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What the radio announcer was saying when you heard the gunshot. When she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas." I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how this helped us at all. It's the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press it until we can get to the bottom of what happened. Okay. It has to do with the time. Hey, it's almost Christmas. Where's the thing that says just after midnight? That says just after midnight. Was there anything else here? Oh, I didn't know I had that photo there. Okay. Let's do this one. It says at 12:15. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know that I don't scare that easily. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when I heard the gunshot. Indeed. And? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. Yeah, this would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Miss Hart's camera. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order, order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard the gunshot before midnight? Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim that he heard a gunshot before midnight? I think that Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence of this wild claim. Show me the evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Because there's 3 times. This is my evidence. The murder weapon. Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth.
That third shot there was the shot Larry heard before midnight. Order! Order! Guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimonies. You can't waste our time again with your empty statements. Yes, the pistol was fired 3 times. But do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have any proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Do you have any evidence that proves there was a gunshot before midnight? Do you have any evidence that proves Mr. Butt wasn't just hearing things? This one. Look. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh yeah, But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing was shown in this photograph. It's why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set off to go in response to loud noises. Correct. There was a loud noise at the lake at 11:50 p.m. This is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. Order! Order! That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, it leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this was true, there would be 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50 and another 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask? Gunshot separated by 25 minutes. Ah! What's wrong, Nick? I have it! I have it! You do? Remember the case of Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll have to overturn Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I'm going to have a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Safe. We already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if anything sounds fishy, okay? Your Honor, the testimony just now has cleared up the entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realize the truth. There could be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. The man who was shot that night, but a man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie, take a deep breath and consider the fact. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. It was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There were gunshots fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been a suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man in that boat. I admit it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have a photograph evidence of the time of the shooting. That timestamp on the photo says 12:15. Larry heard gunshots 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. The two men on the boat are the murderer and Hammond. No, they're not. Yeah. You're right. You know, sometimes you're a little stupid. Well, sometimes you do a little stupid idea. Sometimes thinking's a little hard. Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Hammond and met Edgeworth. Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name, right, it's... I don't know. I actually don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Caretaker of the boat shop. Well, where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat? Well, then where did the murder take place? It took place over at the boat shop area. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet the victim without anyone seeing. You have proof the boat shop was at the scene of the crime. Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. That night, he was out on the lake in the boat searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head home, he hears the gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned the boat? Mr. Wright, what happened that night at Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start from the very beginning and I take it slow, I might be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. That was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got on the boat with Edgeworth and went out to the middle of the lake. And who fired the pistol in the boat, Mr. Wright? The boat shop. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes. Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone?
Note this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer shot twice. He shot twice to create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. To create a witness. The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly this after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. As someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to the shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and he threw the body into the lake. And that's what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired the night at Gourd Lake. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we're waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said? Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said is mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes, several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come by the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had some very important details to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff, we're conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? But find him, quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. Goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial. Okay. Okay, we'll do another day. We'll do another day, sure. Who is the boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is... Yay, Nick, you did it! Yeah, well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I shifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably gonna get off the hook. You can try to smile just a little bit. Relax. Sorry, but my fear is not over for me yet. Well, what do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? Oh, there's so little time left.
I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but I can't make up my mind. What is it about, Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed. A memory of a murder.